Hello, hello, and welcome to the Combed Education Podcast. Let's talk hair. Hey, for those of you, if this is not your first time here, first of all, I want to say welcome back. I so appreciate you taking your time and taking a listen to these episodes. I publish a new episode every Sunday morning, and I appreciate those of you who are regular commies. I have a favor to ask of you. If you choose whatever platform that you're listening to this podcast on, if you can rate and review this podcast, because what happens is the more ratings and reviews, the more that these platforms will share the podcast. So the more that people can find me, because there's a lot that goes into these episodes. If you've heard me talk about it before, Combed Education is a passion project of mine. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Araz Nelson. I've been a stylist for over 20 years in this industry. And Combed Education started off as an idea in 2011 and has grown into this beautiful contribution with the podcast and the blog. I also have an online course with some things coming down the pipeline. And so for me, the more people that can benefit and listen, the more my contribution is effective to this industry. So if you can, leave a rate and a review on whatever platform you're listening on, I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't want to, that's totally cool too. It's all good. So on the Combed Education Podcast, we talk about hair color and chemistry and techniques and business and mindset and kind of everything that has served me and has worked for me to build the career of my dreams. I share on this podcast. And so today we're going to talk about niching down or niching down. Maybe you've heard this term before. There's a phrase that says there are riches in the niches. And so there's a lot of talk in the industry right now about niching down. But I want to really talk about what that means for you and your business. This is a two-part series, I guess. So today I'm going to talk about the pros of niching down, the benefits of it, and how it's going to help you in your business. And then next week, I'm going to talk about some of the drawbacks and some of the cons. In true Ara's fashion, I'm always a proponent of look at everything. Learn all of it, look at all sides, and then take what works for you. So the same goes with this idea of niching down. So to get clarification on what that means, when you decide to niche down, it means that you're going to specifically do one particular service or one particular style of service. Okay, here's some examples. So an example of a niche would be extensions, but really niching down would be hand-tied extensions or beaded extensions or tape-in extensions. Fantasy and vivid block colors, that's a niche. Lived in warm blondes, that's when you niche down. So it's not just lived in, you're doing lived in warm colors, or you're doing solid platinum blondes, or you are not only a master hair cutter, but you have niched down to shags or A-lines or bobs, formal bridal hair, boho bridal hair, icy blondes, rich brunettes, redheads, gray coverage, etc. You get where I'm going with this. So it's not only just doing a type of service, it's really niching it down to a very specific look. Okay. So in like I said, I just want to offer some perspective here. I don't think niching down is necessarily good, and I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it just depends on what you're going for in your business. And I want to show just perspective, like big picture, right? So today I want to talk about some of the pros of niching down and why it can benefit your business. Like I said, next week we'll talk about some of the drawbacks. So number one pro on why people niche down is that it establishes you as an expert in your chosen niche, okay? The more times that you do something, the better that you become at it. So if you are really like an extensions only hand-tied stylist, most clients are going to assume that you are the person, you are the best, because that is all you do. That's all you're posting about. That's all you're talking about. So it establishes you as an expert, and they're going to prefer going to you versus maybe somebody who hasn't niched down, because likely this is a service that you're doing on a regular basis and they know it. So if they want hand-tied extensions, you're the person. If they want rich reds, you're the person. If they want express gray coverage, this is what I niche down on at some point. I'm the person, right? And so you're going to stand out in your marketing because you are consistently posting and talking about your specific niche, and it's going to make you your expert. It's going to establish you as an expert in that niche or niche. Listen, I don't freaking know. There's two ways to saying it: niche. I alternate the two. Don't make fun of me. Okay, so the number 2 benefit on why niching down is going to be good for you and your business, you pick your niche. Okay, so that means that you get to only perform the services that you truly enjoy performing. So long ago, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. So early on in my career, we were told to take every client that walks in. Right? It's a perm, you take it. It's a men's haircut, you take it. It's a kid's cut, you take it. It's a color correction, you take it. You don't say no to business. Because of social media and how consumer behavior has changed, you can start being a little bit more selective with the services that you want to offer, and niching down to the specific service allows you to really do the things that you enjoy doing. So you don't have to do the kids' haircuts or the men's haircuts or whatever it is that you don't fucking like doing. You don't have to do it. So if you love creating like warm, lived in beachy blondes and that's all you want to do, cool. Are you obsessed with creating vivids and block color? Cool. Is painting balayage your jam? Cool. Like whatever it is, you get to do what you truly enjoy doing. So that avoids the resentment that sometimes builds when you're doing shit that you don't want to do. And it also allows you to just be happy. You actually enjoy doing these services. And especially if you find the right clients that vibe with you, like you're good. So it will allow you to perform the services that you truly enjoy doing. Niching down makes marketing a fucking breeze. So we all know that social media and marketing ourselves online is literally one of the most powerful tools that we can use to promote ourselves. And likely most of your target clientele in that specific niche are going to search for what it is that they want. Here's an example. Somebody might search balayage specialist, Jacksonville, Florida. Or somebody might search shag haircut, Santa Monica, California. If you're using the right hashtags, if you're using the right keywords on social media, on your website that is SEO optimized, this is going to make marketing a breeze, and your clientele, your target clientele for the niche or niche that you have chosen are going to find you. So it's a lot easier to market yourself if all you're talking about is your love and obsession of hand-tied extensions, right? So it's marketing wise, like, it's brilliant. Also, another benefit of niching down is that you're not going to be spreading your energy thin, meaning you can try and cater to every single client and offer every service. But if you're not well versed in that service, you're going to have to take time out to educate yourself. So let's say, for example, balayage, extensions, vivids, highlights, whatever it is. If you're not so good at those categories and services, and you want to cater to everybody, you have to educate yourself to become well-versed in balayage, to become well-versed in understanding different extension methods. So you will kind of spread yourself a little bit thin, and it will take away from that niche that you love and that your clients love you for. Now, again, this is not a good thing. This is not a bad thing. This is just perspective. Second to last benefit of niching down is going to be loyalty. So if this is all you do and you have become a master at it, you live it, like a great example of somebody who has niched down is Nikki Wildflower. She has niched down to time-saving techniques. So it's not just a look. She's doing transformative looks in half the time. That is her very, very specific niche. She lives it, she breathes it, that's all she talks about. So as long as your clientele is still living within that niche, you are going to have a very loyal client, because that client knows this is what you do. You live it, you breathe it, you are obsessed with it. And as long as that is what that client continues to want, they're going to stick to you, hands down, because they're not going to encounter anyone better. in their area. You talk it, you walk it, you live it, you breathe it. You are the one. So why would another example of this is Zach Mesquit. He does all the platinum hair. Like he is niched down to platinum hair. And his clients are loyal as fuck. Okay. So as long as they still want to stay platinum. Now, I don't know this to be true, but if one of his clients wants to go darker, I don't know. Are they going to go to him? Is he going to want to do that? That's not his niche. That's not his specialty. So that's one of the drawbacks that we're going to talk about next week. But as long as that client lives within that niche, oh my God, they are going to be yours. Okay. And lastly, if this is your thing, okay, and this is not for everybody, but if like brand affiliations, sponsorships, anything like that are of interest to you, it is so much easier when you have niched down. Because let's say, for example, there's a company that just launched a brand new direct dye line. Okay. They're going to go on the internet and they're going to find stylists who have niched down and do beautiful work with direct dyes. They'll see it on your feed. All you do is direct dyes, beautiful, vivid colors. You are more approachable versus another stylist who may be just as talented, but has all kinds of different shit on their page, right? If they're going to try to promote something, they're going to try to find a stylist that has niched in that category of products that they are trying to promote. So if getting brand affiliations or sponsorships is your thing, niching down is a great way to be able to attract some of those brands to want to work with you. Okay. Now, I do want to point something out. Well, actually, before I do that, let's just recap really quickly the benefits of and the pros of niching down. So number one, it's going to establish you as an expert in your chosen field or your chosen niche. Number two, you're only going to get to perform services that you truly enjoy performing. Goodbye to perms and boys haircuts if that's not your jam. Number three, it makes marketing yourself a breeze. Number four, you're not going to be spreading your energy thin. Number five, it creates insane loyalty as long as the client is still within that niche. And then number six, if it's your thing, brand affiliations. Now, like I said, I do want to point something out that not a lot of stylists consider when it comes to niching down in their business. Because here's the truth. There are two ways to niche down, okay? Number one is niching down on social media for marketing purposes. And then number two is the niching down in real life. Two very different scenarios, okay? So, because the truth is, I know so many stylists personally who on social media have niched all the way the fuck down, right? And they only post certain looks, certain images, whatever. But in real life, their books are full with everything, right? Why do you think that is? I want you to take a think about, or I want you to take a minute and think about what is the benefit of niching down just on social media and then actually niching down in real life. There's pros and cons to it. I see the benefit of niching down on social. You're trying to attract target clientele. It builds consistency in your branding, in your messaging. But then niching down in real life, I don't know. I see pros and cons. I see both sides of it. So like I said, as much value as there is in niching down, it's my belief that if you niche down on social media and in real life, you might run into some issues. Again, this is my perspective. This is not law. This is not gold. Just some concepts to consider. So with that being said, I do want you to tune back in next week because I'm going to talk a little bit about the drawbacks, the disadvantages, some of the cons of niching down. So do me a favor in the comments in where you can comment on this stuff. Let me know, have you niched down? Has it been beneficial for you? Are you against it? Are you for it? And where do you stand on this? And then again, just a reminder, whatever platform you're listening to this on, if you can please rate and also subscribe so that you don't have to come on social media to find out when my next episode is. You will get that notification. So with that being said, thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Check back next week. Talk to you soon. Bye.